Hello and welcome to your Daily 5 with Jane Gallina. I'm also known as Airplane Jane on social media. You can reach me at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, my website, cjanetrade.com, and also by email at jane@cjanetrade.com. Well, this week, the big news was all about Nancy Pelosi with her Nvidia shares. First, she bought them, her husband bought them. Then the bill was just passed Tuesday night. And yep, the news came out that she sold all of her shares. Well, in light of this bill, I've been highlighting the semiconductors today. And the really big reason why I've put SMH first is because of the short volume. Right down here in the middle, you're going to see that there is a little chart right here. This is from shortvolumes.com with the S. And short volumes are different than short interest or short float because short interest and short float is reported 2 weeks late. We're in the age of technology. We get all this information at our fingertips. And so short volume is reported every close to FINRA. So I prefer looking at short volume, and they have the build on shortvolumes.com. So we can actually see all of the charts do have this at the bottom for your reference. So you'll know which one has the likelihood of having the best short squeeze. So with SMH, we can see in the past week, 64% opened positions, right? That means of the volume over the last week, 64.8% were opening shorts. When we look at the last 2 weeks, almost 67% of the volume over the past 10 trading days, right here on this bounce, were people entering shorts. Now, we just had this bill pass, and sure enough, we are starting to see that this cup and handle is breaking out. So looking at it down to 190 and a rim of roughly 232, that's going to be $42. So looking at this breakout right here of roughly 222, I would say we're heading up to 260 on SMH. As long as everything continues, there's no further slowdown of the chip production and the distribution around the world. So this is our daily chart here. You can see that we are starting to see a little bit of a slowdown, but an increase again today with the bill just being passed. On our weekly chart, it looks like we're going to test a bit of resistance right here on the volume histogram with 235, also the 24 EMA. If we pass that 24 EMA, right on up to 260, potential tests roughly around the whole dollar numbers. And we also have about 247 right here that looks like we have a bigger sell area. So keeping that on watch. But in light of this bill, am really looking at semiconductors. My preference is sort of that basket that also has a variety, right? So we see these are the top 10 holdings. It was taken from Nvidia. The link is below. And Taiwan Semiconductors is number 1. Then we have Nvidia, ASML Holdings, and Qualcomm. So these are the top 5 that I did reference today. And I pulled all that short volume for you as well. So when we look at Taiwan Semiconductors, a lot of them have that same cup and handle setup, which is great, right? As long as we can break out above the rim of the cup, then we're going to have a nice move ahead of us. So down to roughly 73, up to roughly 87, right? We're looking at 14 points. So we'd be looking for this to move up to roughly 95 area. On our weekly chart, we can see that we are breaking above this big volume that happened just a couple of weeks ago. These are the equi-volume candlesticks on StockCharts advanced charting platform. Now, what is interesting is when you look down here, Taiwan Semiconductors has a very low short volume, right? The build has been increasing. However, it is not quite as large as SMH, right? The Semiconductors ETF. When we look at Nvidia, big news, right? Nancy Pelosi sold her 25,000 shares with options. And now we're seeing on the daily chart, this has a higher percentage, 53% short volume for Nvidia over the past month, 57%, right? We're looking at this, July 27th. So that's since back here. So over this time frame, we have had 57% short of all of this volume. That's quite a lot. And when we look at it on our weekly chart, right, we are just testing the top of that candlestick for the past 20 days, which means that all this volume could potentially have a squeeze associated with it. And once we break out up above 175, look for that test roughly of 192, 190 area right here on the volume, and then potential move up to 200, 220 area for Nvidia. With ASML, again, we're up in the 50s. So even though Taiwan Semiconductors is the #1 holding as far as percentage-wise on the ETF, it doesn't look like it's the most optimal potential move to the upside in breaking out from these shorts, right? We're seeing, again, that resistance level, looking for 540 to be broken. And the biggest here is going to be the past 2 weeks. So the past 10 trading days, roughly back here, when we found a bottom, it looks like people, again, were shorting into each pop. Well, on our weekly, we've broken that resistance area, looking for 540. Next test, our 24 EMA. You can see we sold off of it here, sold off once it broke down below. Break above 560, then we'd look for 580, and then up to 600, potentially up to 625, 630, 40 area. Last is going to be Qualcomm. So Qualcomm over the past month has had quite a lot. The past couple of weeks, though, it has been declining. So people are feeling, in my opinion, that this is going to continue to the upside, excuse me. We've already seen a break above a resistance level right here. So the past week, it would make sense that people are somewhat exiting those short positions and starting to go long. Easier to see on the weekly chart right here. And we still have to have a bit more of a move to the upside, up above 153.50. And then look at that. We've got a couple nice gaps in volume right here and right here. So it should be a pretty quick move up to 160. Again, you guys can reach out to me on social media anytime. I'm easily accessible. I'm also on YouTube every morning that the market is open. I do a live stream of my watch list every day for my YouTube members. So please come check it out. I'd love to see you there, and reach out to me on email or Instagram or Twitter if you have any questions. And that is your Daily 5 with Jane Gallina. Carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.